The 2026 Appropriation Bill 2025. Excuse me. The committee is now, Public Accounts Committee is now in session. I know that you have appeared before the committee in the past. You know exactly, what are the proceedings that are involved in this process. I want to take the opportunity to welcome you and your members of your team to share with the committee some of your thoughts on the process of the budget preparation, and also just looking into some of the areas of priority that you have identified for 2026. Just to get us into some of the general details of the budget summary that has been assessed by our team. I think this year you were quite successful in making your bid. It's quite a sizable increase in terms of quantum that has been allocated, both possibly the recurrent and development. And it's not bad. Congratulations on a very successful bid that you have made, thanks to your FC and others that have worked so hard to present a convincing bid submission to the Ministry of Finance. So that's, I think, a positive thing, and I hope that next year you will continue to have that kind of a response from the budget team. In terms of the recurrent and development spending mix ratio to what is the total amount that has been allocated to you, as you know that as part of the fiscal strategy for this year, the Ministry of Finance have come up with a guideline to encourage you as accounting officers and your team to look at the possibility of making a spread of 80% recurrent and 20% on development. Yeah? And so working on the 2026, I think he was somewhere just on that. Some 78% on recurrent and 22% on development. Yeah? Maybe you should work a little bit extra hard to try to reduce that recurrent and then put more into the development. That kind of a thinking on the development budget. But of course, we know what's the nature of your functionality as well too. Yeah, that you are there to basically to support other legal institutions. Yeah. But of course, they need a lot of investment too here. Yeah, investment in improving their capacity, and also a bit on physical investment as well too. So it's really up to you, how you are thinking about that in next year. But it would be good to have some thoughts from you too, how you see yourselves, in bidding for a much bigger envelope in future, reflecting some kind of a better mix on the recurrent and the development, maybe reducing recurrent and then increasing on the development. Because one basic indicator is that, if you invest less on the recurrent, that shows that, you can improve on efficiency like that. Eh? It shows that you're improving on efficiency and then you have extra funds available for development expenditure like that. So, yeah, that's on that, and we've seen that you have some very sizable allocation, I think to the tune of 17 million on non-appropriated. And I think this is to do with Australia's support and Australia and New Zealand support and possibly UNICEF. Australia and New Zealand support on the High Court judges, the Solomon Islands Justice Program with Australia, I think that's the biggest one. And your continuous work on through UNICEF on the having access to justice for children. So that's a little bit on the non-appropriation. Just take us through whether or not we are always on the downside in terms of negotiation with the donor partners below UMIA. Why is it that we are not bringing them into the appropriation? I think we did bring them into the appropriation this year. Some of your little the provisions for last year. So now they are low appropriation, and then you slip back again to a non-appropriation space. So the question now is that, are we doing enough to convince them and to talk to them? It's good that, New Zealand is coming forward to support us in the appointment of judges. And I think going forward, what does that mean for us? Will we continue to be relying on donor partners, to support us in terms of provision of water or funding the positions in the bench? Or that is something that, somehow in future we are going to depart from it and then come back to our own internal financing, to be able to fund our own judges, yeah? So, it's a pretty straightforward provision. Maybe if you can just run through that with us. You have a little bit of a sizable increase in side low capex buildings. Maybe you can just tell us what's that, and what are you thinking in 2026? Secretary, feel free to introduce your team. We won't be long with you, and feel free to express yourself to our committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, thank you so much. The PAC has always been kind to us every time we appear before the committee, and we appreciate that. Here, to my left is the Financial Controller, Mr. Fofaka. To my right, the new Deputy Secretary for Corporate, Ms. Bakolo, and next to her is the Chief Strategic Planning Officer, and the next to him is the Chief Admin Officer for Operations. So I couldn't agree more with you, Chair, that the results where we are now are a direct result of the team that I have. And we have a very good team who I am proud of. They've always made me and the minister look good in the way and I'd like to acknowledge the expertise and the work that they're doing towards this, particularly around budget. If I could just start with development budget. Chair, you were on point to say that we have not been with respect to increasing budget for development. This is my 20th month, and when I got here and I look at the records, we've consistently, for the last more than around 10 years, the DB has always been at $3 million Solomon dollars. The current increase now is the first in the last 10 years, and this is around 402% increase.
Sure.
And the purpose is simply that this is to do with we are pitching the way we would like to look at infrastructure now against in 3 years' time we will have the 50th anniversary of the country. And I think it is against that 50th anniversary that we would like to start working. We have started around infrastructure that will include a new high court, new high court for this country, a justice ground that will house all the agencies, and including a new magistracy. So these are the things. I think this will, we have started, and we should by January start on the expression of interest for geotech, survey, UXO clearance, and topography for that space.
Okay.
The question of that precinct is one in which, Chair, you know more than I.
Sure.
It's been there for the last 15 years, and I think when we came in last year, we terminated the arrangement with a group based in Brisbane. Now, I am not responsible for the sins of my predecessors, but on my watch, I am responsible for the current budget. So we are of the view that we must start thinking big and thinking ahead. So this, by next year, this would enable us to start on the concept for that grounds, at the same time for a new High Court of Solomon Islands. We are thinking that if we could start looking at talking to constructors with the amount that we have and to ensure that we phase out repayment over 4 to 5 years. But I think we have to start and ensuring that the people of this country fund their High Court so that they can look up to justice and say we own justice in this country. They can all say that the third arm of this country, the High Court, and that of justice belongs to them. That's why the 18 million here, funded totally by taxpayers of this country, will go towards that. And we would like to dare ask that by the 50th anniversary of this country, we will have a new High Court. It's a tough calling, but I dare to lead a team of people who I think we can deliver on that. If we don't showcase for us doing that, no one will believe in us that we're serious about building our infrastructure. That is that 18 million. So we're so pleased that the government has given us this 400, and we will ensure that we will ensure that we become good custodian of it. And like I say, Chair, I am also aware that by being frank around wanting to achieve that, it's a difficult thing, but fortune favors the bold. Yeah, fortune favors the bold. It's those we must dare to dream big.
Definitely.
Yeah, we must dare to say that we can do this. Then other donors will come and help us. If we don't show that we've started or genuine about wanting to do this, people will not trust us. That is why I have a team that has now put this together, which has resulted in that. And that's for DB. And I couldn't agree more. We have never had a case where we've ensured that we've invested or make a case to finance for DB. So I thank you for that recognition around that. It's because of that thinking and what we would like to do. With recurrent share, we were given a 4% increase, and we're pleased with that. As the saying goes, we will work with the cards we're dealt with. Yeah. In times where resources are scarce and we look for other things, we will work with the resources that are given to us. And so with that, I am pleased with that. We're pleased with that. We'll work with that. For human resources, that will result in another 26 new positions. And most of them, only one for headquarters, the others will be with our agencies. But that is for recurrent. I think people will, against the growth of our demography, Chair, we will all agree that there will always be the need for increased people within our legal agencies. Like I said, with the challenge for resources that everyone would have to run this, the important institution of the state, we will work with the resources that are given to us. And to this end, I'd like to say, with respect to donors, Chair, Australia remains the only partner of choice for us. Actually, the Australian Solomon Island Partnership for Justice program should have ended middle of this year. It is after reviewing the work that we have done with the little funds that they've given to us, around 3 million, that they have decided to extend the program to work with justice for the next 4 years. However, consultations for that will be in January 2026. Because once we finish, and we should complete the new Justice Strategic Framework 2025-2035, once we finish it it should be by December, go for Cabinet, that will form the platform against which their program will align funding to. So that will be in January 2026. That is with respect to that. UNICEF has been very kind, mainly around areas of Child Protection Act, and it works with our Law Reform Commission. Chair, I'd like to make a special reference to the Law Reform Commission. For the new positions, we're very pleased that we'll be having 10 new positions for Law Reform Commission.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because when I arrived last year, and I've observed the challenge that the country, we're in need of law reforms, legal reforms, yet we have not been resourcing personalities for that. So last year, this year, we got 3 new positions. Now for next year, it will be 10. That will really aid our office to ensure that they really work on legal reforms. That is that, and also that for next year will be the Registrar General's office. These 2 offices have not been given personals. They've always been towards prosecution, Attorney General, and Public Solicitors Office. But the Registrar General office will also be given that resource, because as of January next year until 2027, towards our graduation, Chair, we have been able to resource to acquire 5 projects. They will be working on IP for our country, on reviewing our Copyright Act, and that I'd like to say that with respect to priorities for next year, our number 1 priority under the GNUT government is the reform of our 5 agencies. I'm pleased to say that as of May this year, Cabinet has approved those, and as of 23rd of July this year, Minister for Justice has launched that, and as we speak, I have signed 3 drafting instructions for review of DPP, PSO, and AG, and also for the enabling acts for Registrar General and Law Reform Commission. Chair, these are important institutions to us. This would be the major legal reform since 1978. We have had not any reform around our institutions, and which is why when people, and rightfully, when people give observation and feedbacks on how our agencies are serving our populace, it is because we have not done any review against their mandates. The changing situation outside our offices have changed for our country, but the mandates within law for our institutions remain the same. So I'm pleased that that's the major legal reform, and first of next year, that to do with national judiciary autonomy, that would be around beginning of next year. We have a cabinet paper already, and we have done we have came up with a formula for how it will be phased out over 3 years, first stage for first year, and that of a timeline, because we cannot just at one go have the autonomy of our judiciary. So it's been phased out. We also have a formula for phasing that out already. They will be part of the cabinet paper early next year. And Chair, with respect to our agencies and the court circuits, we have completed a thorough analysis of that. For us, within our agencies, our court circuits are premised against a schedule that always comes from magistracy. So like now, it would be the chief magistrate who will have the schedule out, then our offices would put the schedule against that. So that has been working well, and I know National Judiciary is appearing tomorrow. Specific on that, they will have that. But on that, I'd also like to give recognition to the minister, where last year, when he came in, he was the one who gazetted the instruments to extend the number of judges from 7 to 21. That has never been done since 1978, which is why we've now seen 11 judges on the bench, 3 of them women, and we're proud to say that the majority are Solomon Islanders. With only 1 judge from Australia. So that is something that it's the whole way we're packaging everything, Chair. It's all towards infrastructure, towards 50th anniversary, but at the same time to reform our agencies in a way that we future-proof our agencies, that are fit for purpose, that when others come after us, they will find institutions that are suited for the future, and they can always improve on that. Chair, that's the general philosophy and the budget, and we're pleased with the amount that is given to us. Thank you, Chair.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Madam Secretary. I mean, it's quite impressive to see the enthusiasm and the determination that has been put behind the thinking, the change in thinking that is happening, you know, in the department. And I want to commend you for leading the team in such a very, very excellent way. Thinking about, you know, standing behind the philosophy of what you wanted to do, and then getting that understanding through with the team that you have, and then translating them into the way that the institution will work, and then pitching it to how we are going to look forward, going forward into the future, like that. I mean, the whole intention is that, whatever that we do now must be suitable for future, like that. It must suit the situation and the conditions for the future. I'm really impressed that you have that thinking, and you are able to invest a lot of your time in getting your team organized and geared up, for the kind of challenge that you are presented with, given the fact that, is what you said, rightly said, that most of these agencies, the legal judicial agencies that we have within this realm, have always, in the past been given very insignificant attention. I remember that, it has been a challenging situation even just to raise the magistracy, for instance, from the normal public servants, into the constitutional realm. So they are now a constitutionalized position. Even to get other arrangements, within the judiciary, so that, we can build the pathway towards, the autonomy that you are talking about. I think that's a way to work on. And I like the idea that, we are pitching, in by the time that, we have to celebrate, 50th anniversary of our independence, that, we should be able to say that, look, we have reached a total autonomy on all the executive arms of the government. Judiciary is one of them. National judiciary, the legislature here as well, should somehow, gear towards that. So, I think for now, looking at what has been given to you, this is a real step up, from where it was, within a short span of time and period that, we can look at the changes that has happened. I think there is a real significant development, and we can only continue to encourage your team to continue with that work. Please, next year, we will put our recommendations right on that front, but at the same time, continue to talk to our donors to bring in, this little part on the appropriation, because I think, if we are going to put our resources into building up, that particular building, for the High Court building. They need to come and join us, not outside of the appropriation, but inside of the appropriation. So I think that's what we should put forward to them. I'm sure that you are building up such an excellent rapport with them. Continue to improve on it, and then tell them that, we really want some real change to happen. So I think that much no more, I can say to you. I think everyone, you mean.
Yeah, same.
Yeah? We are all happy with, what is being given to you, and we can only say to you, continue with the good work. Congratulations, and then we will put our full support behind, the Budget Commission and all other initiatives. Whatever notes that you have with you, just pass it on to our secretary. We will definitely, reflect it in our report. Madam Secretary, thank you so much for coming, and we wish you well going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you so much.
Oh yes, please. You wanna? Yes.
PS and your hardworking team. Just like for say thank you. Me here every ministries, but me looking that you have a gift for this nation since independence, and that is to build a new High Court. And once you achieve this, I think very important because this country needs a gift from the 50th anniversary for this country. And I think when listening to other ministers, I think you're one of the ministers that you have something for the people of this nation. So I just want to thank you so much, PS, for letting this one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well said, yeah.
Here's a thank you, Chair. Here's a thank you. Thank you, Chair. Here's a thank you.
This one, I mean,
Thank you. Thank you for the encouragement.
Yeah, yeah.
This one now. Yeah. No more. Public service no more. Yeah. Last one.
Good to see you.